Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the new Combat Patrol preview today for the World Eaters, and it includes the awesome Lord Invocatus on the Juggernaut. We've been seeing some great releases lately for 40k and for Chaos especially across all the games, including Age of Sigmar, but today we're going to be focusing on this Combat Patrol for Khorne, and yeah, it's got this great model in there, Lord Invocatus, that we saw in the online preview not that long ago. So in this video, I'll break down all the contents of the Combat Patrol, which has got 31 miniatures in, and they've done a great job here with the image. It looks like you get a ton of models, which I guess you do. 31 is awesome on the table, and a nice painting project as well to get these ready. But we'll work through all the contents, have a close look at all the individual models. Then I'll work out the points, and this will be a bit of guesswork, you know, comparing it to some other models that are available at the moment for the Chaos Space Marines and things like that. And then we'll look at price, and I'll break that price down for each unit. Then we'll have a look at how much the Combat Patrol is going to cost in all the different countries and see how much of a saving we could potentially make by picking one of these up. Before we jump in though, I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep going with these daily videos. If you'd like to join the Patreon, support the channel and grab some perks, then I'd love to see you there, and I'll put a link down below in the description so you can find out more. Okay, let's get into this Combat Patrol then. So the first model is going to be your leader, and this is going to be the Lord Invocatus, and you can build him with the Juggernaut. Now you've got an option here, you can build it as Lord Invocatus or as your own Lord of your choice. So you've got lots of options. There's going to be loads of ways to customize the model, both the rider and the Juggernaut itself. Whichever option you go for, you can add this cool chainsword horn, which is just crazy. What a great addition to the model. You can add that onto either of the options you go for. So it looks like it's going to be pretty packed. We'll have a look at the sprues later on as well, so you can see up close all the different components that are going to be included. But yeah, really awesome model. This would look great on the battlefield. And I think they've put this together with some really good models and units, so a good start. This Combat Patrol is going to be a great way to kick off a new Khorne army. Here's some close-ups so you can see some of the details a little bit better. And here we go, some more. That chainsword horn is just brilliant. It's almost worth getting the model just to have a chainsword horn. So really cool. Now let's have a look at the sprues. So here you can see you've got the two sprues, and there's quite a lot going on here. Lots of little parts. The chunky body piece, that's going to be the main part to assemble, and then chain swords, horns and chain horns all over, which is exactly what you want from a Khorne model. So we first saw this revealed at the Warhammer Day preview online, wasn't that long ago, and they showed this older version of the model, which is like crazy how it's improved so much. But there's something quite quirky about this. I mean, it's a fun little model. It reminds me of He-Man so much. This is the sort of thing you'd expect to see He-Man going up against with his mount. And so yeah, real fun little model. I wonder if you can still get hold of it. It'd be quite cool to grab one if the price is okay. We also saw the codex for the World Eaters revealed at that online preview as well, and it does say in the article today that this Combat Patrol is going to be coming to pre-orders in just a few weeks, so that could be, what, 3 or 4 weeks until the pre-order preview comes up, and then you're going to be able to pre-order it a week later. So we're certainly looking at least a month away until we can pre-order this. So I wonder if the codex will be coming out around the same time. You're certainly going to need it if you get the Combat Patrol, aren't you? So yeah, I think we're definitely looking February by the looks of things. And so yeah, this is going to be a great time to start a new Khorne army, and still early on in the year too. During that online preview, we saw some really nice photos. You got Land Raiders, Terminators here, and I think all this is going to complement the models you get in the Combat Patrol. Here's a really nice image with some of the new Berserkers, which we're going to take a look at in a second. You can't see any of the Jackals, which are like the cultists for Khorne here, but we'll see those too. So let's get back to the Combat Patrol box then. We've seen the leader, now let's have a look at some of the troop units. And first up, we're going to get the Jackals, and there's going to be 10 of these all together, and they just look brilliant. I think these would be really cool, like for a Necromunda gang or some kind of wasteland cultist in a different game altogether. This guy's a beast in the front there, and then you've got loads of, again, chainsaws, chain axes, horns everywhere, spikes wherever you want them. It looks just brilliant. I think this is going to be a real fun set to build. Looks quite easy to paint as well, so it wouldn't take long to get these ready for battle. We'll go through the points values for these a little later on, but let's have a look at the other units included. And here's a great picture of the new Berserkers. And in this combat patrol, you're going to get 20 Berserkers. So potentially 4 troop units if you want to put them in units of 5. This Berserker kit is going to give you loads of options. We'll have a look at some of the close-ups of the different components, but the poses are great on these. The faces are so crazy and angry. I love it. I think these are going to be brilliant fun to play against. This isn't the sort of army I'd like to build, but I can certainly appreciate what's gone into designing it. And yeah, really fun one to fight against, I think. Here you can see some of the images showing some of the different head and helmet options. You're going to get 12 bare heads, so these are going to have the cybernetic butcher's nails in there. You're going to get 10 helmeted heads with the iconic Cadet Renaissance crests. And then we're going to look at some shoulder pads as well. There's going to be 10 pads with the icon of the World Eaters, 5 with the symbol of corn, and then 5 in the gladiatorial style. So lots of options there, and that's going to really change how these look. And then you've got chain axes, you've got bolters, pistols, plasma pistols, chain swords, everything you'd expect. You've got the icon bearer, the whole lot. So real interesting kit. And you're going to get 2 of these kits because there's going to be 20 models altogether, 10 in each kit. Now we've had a look at the models, let's start breaking down the points and the costs. So we'll start off with the first one, the leader. This is going to be the Lord on the Juggernaut. Now I'm not sure about this. Is it going to be around 175 points? I'm kind of comparing it to the Lord Discordant from the Chaos Space Marines, but I might be going a little bit too high. But I think around that figure is a safe bet. For the Berserkers, we should be looking at about 22 points per Berserker. It's just been changed recently with the update, so maybe it could go up a little bit more, but if we stick with that for now, that's pretty cool. And then if we look at the Jackals and compare them to the Chaos Cultists, which are 7 points each, then we're looking at 70. I've got a feeling they're going to be a little bit higher in points value though. That chunky guy looks like 7 points just isn't enough for the damage he can potentially do. So I think the Jackals are going to be higher, but let's be conservative and stick to 70. That's going to give us a total points value of 685 points as a rough estimate. Again, not confirmed. And so I think that's pretty good. It's going to be around that figure for sure. And so definitely well over 500 points because we can definitely guarantee those 440 points for the Berserkers. So you can imagine with the other points on top. This is a real good one. You're going to get way over 500 points. Now let's look at the price. So for the Juggernaut, the Lord on top, are we looking at $37.50, do you think? I was looking at the Carcadrag, which is £30, and I was going to compare it to that price. But then I thought, maybe this is just a touch bigger. It's also 40k, which could influence the price being a little bit more. And when we look at the recent price of the Demon Prince being quite high, I think we could be safely looking at $37.50 here for this model. It's also going to be a popular one, I think. Berserkers, we're going to get 2 sets, so I'm thinking £37.50 per box set, comparing it to the Legionaries, but it could be a little bit less, could be 35, but I don't know. I think with all the little extras they're putting in, and they're really going to town market in this, I think we're looking at £37.50 per box. Then finally, we've got the 10 Jackals. We should get 1 set of those. $27.50 if we compare it to the Chaos Cultists. I think that's going to be bang on, to be fair. So yeah, I think, not sure about the Juggernaut, the Berserkers, but the Jackals, I'm pretty confident. But altogether, we're looking at around 140. Could be anything between 130 to 140. And so that's the price we're looking at if you were to buy each of these units individually. With combat patrols at £90 in the UK, and we'll be looking at the other countries in a second, then we're going to be making a saving of around 35%. And so that's pretty good value, and this is probably the best way to get any of the models. Now on top of that, in the UK we're really lucky because we can save up to 20% discount when we shop online with places like Firestorm Games, Wayland Games, Element Games, and I've put links to all 3 down in the description below where you can make some great savings, so have a look at those. I also get a small commission from any sales made through those links, so you'll be supporting the channel too, so thanks so much for that. So let's have a look at the different countries then. UK combat patrols are £90, US $150, Euros, you're looking at 120. Australian, looking at $230. Canadian, 180, and then yen, as requested, is 20,000. So those are the prices you're going to look at before any discounts with your friendly local game stores or online retailers. My friendly local game store is awesome in Liskeard, Cornwall, the Little Shop DVD and Games. I've also put a link down in the description for that shop too. Be awesome if you check it out and show him some support. That'd be really cool. But support your local game stores, get a saving, and I think you'll be really happy with the price point against the points that are included in this combat patrol. Okay, so we can get started with 500 points right away. Now let's have a look at how we can take this up to 1,000 points by adding some other units to it. And first of all, after looking at the images they showed, I thought, why not add on a Land Raider? That'd be awesome. That's going to take the box and one Land Raider up to 950 points. Now, I'm not looking at this from any competitive way at all. I'm going rule of cool, and who doesn't like a Land Raider on the table? What an awesome model. It's a beast. It's going to get those guys up close, ready to do some fighting. And then we've also got another option. Maybe go 2 Rhinos, throw in Khan the Betrayer, and you're looking at 985 points. That might be quite a fun 1,000-point army list to play. But I'm wondering, will they stop the Berserkers going in to the Rhinos like they've done with the Primaris Space Marines? Is that going to be something they'll be doing? And if so, will they be bringing out a vehicle to slot in between the Land Raider and Rhino? I don't know. That could be something on the horizon. Then you might want to go for 1,500 point army, which I think is a really nice price point. Building lists around that is really fun. You've got loads of options, but you could straight up go 2 combat patrols, 2 rhinos, and you're pretty much bang on the points. And the good thing with this is you can include these 2 HQ units the same without any penalties under the new rules, and so that's really nice. Now, we want to go to 2,000 for sure, so let's go 2 combat patrols, 2 Land Raiders. Khan, they've got 2,040 points, and that could be an interesting way to go as well. Again, I don't know if this would even work or play out on the table. Is 2 Land Raiders too much? Can you have too many? I'm not sure. You could go full-on Rhino crazy and have 4 Rhinos, 2 combat patrols. That's going to be 1,690 points. And that's going to leave you room for options. Maybe some Terminators, or wait until these beasts are released and include some of those in the army as well. These models look fantastic, and I think they do really well alongside all these other units. So yeah, that's an option. Build it. Thinking, I think 4 Rhinos is too much, to be honest, but it would be fun to see it on the table and see how it played out, and it gives you room, 310 points to play with. So there we go, that's the Combat Patrol revealed today for the World Eaters. We've broken down all the contents, looked at the points and the price for the different countries, and I hope this has given you a good idea about what you can expect from this Combat Patrol, should you like to add it to your collection. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this Combat Patrol and the contents, so let me know in the comments section down below. Do you think they've put together some good units there? And what would you add to this to go up to 1,000 points army? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'm going to be breaking down all the Combat Patrols for 40k now. I think it's really fun to have a look at the comparison with price and points and see what savings we can make with them and what we can do to start building an army with them and getting those points up to 2,000 level. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did like it, please hit the like button and subscribe as well. It really helps the channel out, and I'd really appreciate that. So thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.